Alright, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the TMossBoss show. In today's episode, today it's a anniversary day. It's a day where I had got caught up in some of the craziest but fakest drama that I have ever been involved in. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, I've learned my lesson. When you are dealing with like haters and you are going through some drama and all that, there's certain things that you cannot post online. So when you're offering, because today it's like World Suicide Prevention Day, and yeah, when you're dealing with drama on the internet, you can't make tweets that's pretty much welcoming random people because you don't really know who to trust at the end of the day. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, if you are dealing with something like, mentally and all that, and it's, leading you to have suicidal thoughts, there's numbers that you can call. There's people that you can talk to, and it's like, it's one of those things where it's you have to like go to a person that you trust, like just talk on that real quick, because I feel like that it needs to be talked about a little bit more than the story time I'm gonna walk you guys through. But nah, man, like, nobody deserves to go through whatever it is that they're going through alone, and it could be a wide variety of things. Like, people be thinking like, oh, nobody's not gonna care about the smallest stuff that I'm going through. They will. It's like, the thing is this, you just got to find the person that is going to care about the smallest stuff that you're going through, so if it's something like, oh, I can't find this, that, well, it's like, I don't know, because I'm like also trying to tie in, depression too. So yeah, just like depression, suicidal thoughts, all that stuff. It doesn't matter what the case may be. Talk to somebody about whatever it is that you're going through, but do not go through, like having it where it's like you're just suffering in silence, pretty much. Like, nobody deserves to do that, or go through that, and I've had my moments where I suffered in silence, and it's the worst, it's horrible, and it's, luckily, thank God, I'm here today to, tell you. I'm not saying I was thinking about doing anything dramatic or, like suicide and all that stuff, but depression was kicking my butt some days, so yeah, that's one thing about it. It's like, it sucks, man. Depression sucks, but the thing is, though, is that if you find people in your life that will help you with your depression, it's not gonna suck as much, because you got people out there that care about you and they love you and all that stuff. So, but anyways, yeah. So years ago, 2018. I made this tweet. Hold on for a second, because I still have the tweet up. So I made this tweet saying, if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here for you. I don't care if I don't know you. I'll treat you as if you was family or my best friend. So I made that tweet, just letting people know, like, hey, if you going through some stuff, let me know. Like, I'm curious. I'm curious about whatever it is that you're going through, right? So anyways, I made that tweet. It was, what time did I make that tweet? Because it was like, yeah, it was early in the morning. It was 9:33 in the morning and stuff. So anyways, I made that tweet. Later on in that afternoon, I had was, just cleaning up tables, because this is when I was working in Seattle. So I'm cleaning up tables, and I checked my phone, because I can't remember why I had opened up my phone. But anyways, I opened up my phone. I see that I got a gang of notifications on Twitter. So I'm like, fam, what's going on? Like, did I get my big break? Like, am I finally blowing up? Like, am I going to be able to put in my 2 weeks at this place and do content creating full time? So I'm like, fam, what's going on? I'll open it up. It's from the same person underneath 2 different accounts saying, oh, I'm suicidal. So I responded to them finally, it's like, because they've had to have been tweeting me for a while, because it was like, that's how Twitter works. So people like to put it out there that I had blocked them twice. I only had blocked them one time. The other account that they were using had got restricted because they kept spamming the same message over and over again. So for those that don't know how Twitter works, if you make out the same tweet over, because they even trip on me if I make it out like, and it'd just only be one tweet. But there's been times like where I'm tweeting out that I'm going live, but I'm using the same title that I used for the a stream before. So it's like it'll just be like small streamer vibes or something. I'll have that in the title and I'll make that tweet, because Streamlab OBS allows you to tweet out to your audience and let them know that you've gone live. But you can't make the same tweet twice. And so this person managed to find a way through, I guess, that loophole or whatever. And yeah, they were just making the same tweet over and over again. And so Twitter had restricted that account. And then that's when they had to create a secondary account. And that was the account that I responded to. So anyways, they had, but yeah, they were just sending me the same tweet off of both accounts, talking about I'm suicidal, I'm suicidal, I'm suicidal. So I had asked them, I was like, okay, what's the problem? You know, like what's going on? Like what's the issue and stuff? And they still just saying the same thing over and over and over again. And I'm like, okay, fam, because mind you, I'm still at work, so I'm not even supposed to be on my phone. So like that's why I'm like, okay, you need to hurry up and tell me what you got going on. And it's like, because my thing is this, I want to help you, but I can't if you're not telling me what's happening. They just still saying the same thing over and over again. They did change it up a little bit, and they was like, goodbye world, this and that. And I'm like, okay, look, you're not explaining to me what the issue is. So it's like I'm gonna have to leave. I'm gonna have to go, because you're not explaining nothing to me and stuff. And so anyways, from there the conversation was over. I was like, because you're not explaining to me what the issue is. You know, my thing is that if I approach somebody and I say, hey, I'm having a problem, I expect that person to be like, okay, what's the problem? And then I follow it up by telling them what's the problem. Not, oh, I'm having a problem. Okay, well, what's the problem? I'm having a problem. Okay, can you tell me what the problem is? It's a problem. And it's like, fam, my question is based off of that conversation, how was any progression supposed to be made? You know, so like that's, and the crazy thing is, it doesn't matter how it could have, you know, the conversation, it could have ended with me, you know, giving out some motivational words. It could have ended off with me saying, okay, call this suicide prevention number and stuff, you know, or reach out to this individual, or, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter how the situation would have went down. It still would have been the same outcome. So anyways, that had happened, and then shortly afterwards, I can't remember exactly when, but then yeah, as you guys may know, Just a Robot, you know, a good one of those funny names that you'll hear from time to time in my content. But anyways, and for those that don't know him, my in today's terminology, he's my my op. What else can I? Yeah, he's my rival. I guess according to some people that are familiar with the situation, I'm a supervillain to Just a Robot. I'm like, I think it's the other way around. You know, I ain't never thought of doing no crazy stuff like this. And I'm gonna get to it in a moment. I'm gonna explain it here in a moment and stuff. But anyways, so yeah, Just a Robot. And it was, I believe it was a few other people. They all uploaded this video where they were saying that I had ignored a suicidal person. And I'm like, fam, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but I ain't ignored no suicidal person. I asked that person what the problem was. They didn't tell me what the problem was, so I left. What am I supposed to do with that conversation if you're not? My thing is this: communication is key. When you're talking with somebody, if they ask you a question, you give them an answer. Even if you don't even know an answer, still just give them something. But don't just have it where it's like it's like a communicate, like I'm speaking a foreign language or something, you know. So that's why I was like, you know, I defended myself. I stood on business. I wasn't just gonna allow people to run my name in the dirt without me defending myself and things. So yes, I did defend myself, and I'm like, fam, if my thing is this, if that girl would have told me what the problem was, none of this would have been going down. You guys wouldn't have been making no videos about me and stuff. So I'm under the impression that this was just some random person. I'm gonna get to that in a moment. But then shortly after this situation with the suicidal girl, so another person had reached out to me. Now they wanted to communicate a little bit more, but not as good, I guess. But and that's the thing with the suicidal girl. So she did delete those accounts. Like she took those accounts down because she did realize that it's later on. It was a realization that she messed up in things, because from what I've heard is that this girl's not on social media no more, and I'm gonna get to that in a moment. I'm gonna talk on that, because I feel like it's one of those endings to a story where it's like, wow, I would have not expected that. But at the same time, it's like, now thinking about it, yeah, it makes sense now and stuff. But anyways, now getting to the second person that reached out to me talking about they were feeling suicidal. So I think this was some days after. But anyways, this other person reaches out to me and they're pretty much same business. I'm feeling suicidal. So I'm like, all right, what's the problem? And so then they were saying, like, I guess they bullied kids when they were in school or something like that. I'm like, all right, well, I'm like, find out who those kids are and apologize to them. Or I guess, like, find their socials and apologize to them. And I think they did say something along the lines like, oh, I can't find their socials or something like that. I'm like, okay, I'm pretty sure there's some sort of way to contact them. Because I'm like, even I had just did that not too long ago, where it was a friend of mine that I used to be, like, mad cool with when I was in school. They're not on social media, but their sister is. So I reached out to the sister and I'm all like, hey, I used to be cool with your sis back in the day. Let her know. I'm like, I just said, like, hey, I hope life is going good for her and stuff. And I left it at that. I'm like, that's as much as I'm gonna say. At the end of the day, if our paths cross, our paths cross. If not, then yeah, it's one of those things. I enjoyed the time that we spent with each other, during lunch and in the mornings and stuff. Yeah, this was somebody where I was like, and like you see them in school, you gonna stop by and say hi. It ain't like one of those friends where it's like you see them and it's just like y'all just ignore them. Even if it's like on some business today where if I seen that friend, I'm gonna say hi. So like that. But it's even that too, where it's like, okay, even I know it's like you can't place in time like when they gonna be out in public and things. But even if it is on some business where you see them out in public, apologize, but this guy just wanted to be difficult. Like, nah, he didn't want to do nothing. So I'm like, okay, reach out to them. He's like, I can't do that. I'm like, okay, we'll find some sort of way to contact them. I can't do that. I'm like, okay, well, I'm pretty sure there has to be something that you can do to get a hold of these guys so you can apologize to them and stuff. He's like, you're not really good at this. And I'm thinking to myself, fam, I never said that I was. You reached out to me talking about you're feeling suicidal. I'm trying to help you out. You're shooting down every idea that I'm throwing at you. You ain't even trying to attempt it or even try it. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like, how is a person supposed to help you and you ain't trying to use none of the help that they're providing out to you and stuff? I'm saying, like, my thing is this: if that's the case, why even reach out to me in the first place? It wasn't like, what's funny is that the tweet, it only has one retweet, and that's from me making a repost tweet thing, or a quote tweet. That's what they call it, a quote tweet. I wasn't. Do they even have like a thing of? They don't have like how many views the tweet had got and stuff. Nah, because it's an old tweet, but it wasn't like it was an extremely popular tweet and stuff. Like, it wasn't like it was a bunch of people responding to the tweet. That suicidal girl was the only one that had responded to that tweet. That was the only one that had engaged with that tweet. And all that engagement, because she took down her accounts, is gone now. So that's why I was like, yeah, with this guy, I'm like, but his account is still up. Like, I can't think of his name. But yeah, if you guys want to, I guess, go reach out to him and check up on him and stuff, then yeah, you very well could do so. I'm pretty sure it'll definitely be on some business like, oh yeah, that wasn't real. That wasn't fake. I'm going to get to that in a moment. But anyways, but no, so that's what I decided to do, because I'm like, this was after the videos had got uploaded about me and stuff. So I checked his following, and I'm like, because nah, man, this just doesn't seem normal. Something seems off with this interaction. I checked the people that he's following. He's following Just a Robot. And he's also following, I think it was this, I don't think he's still going by that name now, but it was this guy named I Bully Bullies. But at the time being, he was going by a different name. Like, I think it was like Mainstream something or something like that. But anyways, but I asked the guy, I was like, why are you following them? And he's like, I don't have to answer that question. He said something along those lines. But yeah, he was like, I ain't got to answer that question. So at that moment, I knew what the situation was. I wasn't even gonna talk with that guy no more. I'm like, this little conversation, it's over. I'm like, I seen what I needed to see, and I moved on. But no, yeah, they did still carry on the narrative that I had ignored a suicidal person all the way up until I can't remember when exactly I had received the last comment talking about it. I mean, there were at times like, no, I think there was actually this one guy, he was trying to like reach out to me while I was streaming and was trying to like, I guess, get on me about that, call me out about it and stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, okay, if that person was actually suicidal, they would have contacted somebody that was a little bit more professional. I am a content creator. I am not no therapist. I'm not no psychiatrist. I cannot give you the proper help that you need, but I can give you some motivational words if you need some. All right. So yeah, it's one of those things. Maybe I should have elaborated on that more. I didn't. So that's a mistake on myself. But so anyways, fast forward up until when exactly did I start talking to this individual? Hold on for a second, because it was like it's been the conversation has been going on for a while now, but let me see if I can find our DMs. For some reason my PC is being slow. Oh, okay, here we go. All right, so when did? Oh, dang! I'm like, it's all right. So it was some point, because me and this individual, we have been, because we're cool now, we friends. This random person and stuff, but they have like some sort of association with just the robot, or more so the people that's in his community, not so much with just the robot. But I just wanted to clarify on that. But no, so after the Cinnabar crap had happened, of course, you've seen where I was making my videos. I was putting myself out there, letting people know the business with me and just a robot. And then people, yeah, they were reaching out to me, you know, wanting to know more, I guess, on our history and stuff. And there was one person in particular that reached out to me where they didn't want like no interviews or all that stuff. They just wanted me to get a little bit more info on what was going on in just the robots community. And they were letting me know about like they had sent me this like phone conversation between his editor and the people that he wronged. That conversation was crazy. What else did they but the main thing that they told me, where I was like, wow, I wish I would have known of this a long time ago versus finding out about it now and things, because I mean the damage has already been done. And the thing is this, I know people they'll try to make it seem like that I'm blaming this individual for not telling me sooner. I don't know what their knowledge was of me. Like, maybe they knew of me, maybe they didn't, but I don't blame them. The reason why I don't blame them is because when you're looking at somebody that your friends are beefing with, yeah, and overall you supposed to do the right thing, but at the same time, it's like when you're watching your friends beef with somebody, of course you're gonna take your friend's side, especially if you don't really have no knowledge. Like, I don't know what the history was, like if she knew of my content, if she watched my videos, or if they had conversations, whatever the case may be. I do not know, but it's one of those things where I'm like, I'm still not gonna blame them, because it just, at the time being, yeah, it's like, you know, these are your friends. It's like you're not going to turn your back on your friends. But eventually she realized the right thing to do is that I got to get in contact with this guy and tell him what the business is. So anyways, the business was that suicidal girl wasn't even suicidal. That was all for YouTube videos. And the thing is this, what trips me out about it so much is that there were people that were being like, they were being dead serious. Like, I think that was why Just the Robot's editor, because for those that don't know, Just the Robot's editor, he reacted to one of my videos before, like, I guess that situation, people were talking about it, or they made videos about it and stuff. But he reacted to, I think it was a try not to laugh challenge. So he made it seem like that he was cool. I do remember when I had watched that video, he was criticizing some of the videos, and I'm like, fam, it's a try not to laugh challenge. Like, enjoy yourself. You're looking way too deep into these videos. But anyways, but yeah, I was like, but no, it was, I remember after that video when they were like Just a Robot and everybody was all like, oh, TMossBoss ignored the suicidal girl, he made his own video. And so if you guys ever hear where I'm like talking about Joshua, that was his name, if you ever hear where I'm talking about Joshua, and I always say like, oh, he's screaming or yelling at me from the backseat of his mom's car and stuff. that was the video that was referencing, and so that's pretty much what he was doing in that video, yelling at me in the backseat of somebody's car. I don't know whose car it was, but anyways, but yeah, overall though, he was just going off. But I didn't. That's the thing. Like, I don't know if he knew, but at the same time, it's like he was a part of Just a Robot circle. So I imagine that anything Just a Robot knew, he knew about it. And even I had said that too with his video, was that like the acting was like, it came off as like fake. You know how he was acting in the video and stuff. Like, all right, so if I can, like, I guess, like, get in character and things of how Joshua was acting. So he starts the video off and he's like, "Hey guys," he's like, I seen the most disgusting video. Like, it seemed like he was trying to cut like a promo for a wrestling show or something. But anyways, he was all like, "I seen the most disgusting act of TMossBoss," and then he'll have like these like random pauses and stuff. And so anyways, he's talking, he's all like, I never, and he's going off, like he's yelling, but at the same time it's like, okay, you're not being genuine. Like, you're there's something off with this video and stuff. But I'm like, the acting is off. Like, Lifetime and sci-fi actors be acting better than this. I'm like, man, I'm telling you right now, this is like one of them, like, two, like, if they had like a Tubi, if they had like a website that competed with YouTube, I definitely feel like that video would be like a front runner up of like videos to upload onto that website and stuff. Because yeah, the acting, it was off. The acting was all the way off. But yeah, so overall though, this individual, they reached out to me. And so I know people are probably all like, you know, what association did this individual have with like Just a Robot's peoples and stuff, you know? So the individual that reached out to me, she was cool with some of the people in Just a Robot circle, especially this girl that was faking being suicidal, because that wasn't our first time having a, well, it was, if it was our first time having an interaction, it definitely wasn't our last time having an interaction, because me and that girl, we ended up actually getting into it. I can't remember if it was before or after, but if you guys remember me talking about a person that had made a tweet about me, put me in the same conversation as a mass shooting that happened, I think it was in New Zealand, that was the same girl. So she was just going by a different name at that point. But anyways, but no, the individual that reached out to me, she was cool with that girl. And so yeah, the individual, she reaches out to me, and I'm trying to, I don't know if I should just call her like like give her a fake name or something. I'm just gonna say individual. You know, I ain't good with coming up with names and stuff. But anyways, but no, so she reaches out to me. She's sending me all this information about Joshua. She's telling me things about Just a Robot, and then eventually she ended up telling me stuff about that quote unquote suicidal girl, and how yeah, she faked it. She faked the whole thing. And so the friend, I guess she must have just found out herself at some point, because she did say that she had she started going off on her for doing that. And I guess like I don't know, like maybe the girl felt bad, maybe she didn't, but it's one of those things where it's like, you know, I think that it would be best if she were to apologize, rather than like having it where it's like your friend has to apologize on your behalf. It's like, it's not your friend's place to apologize for your actions. You caused something, you need to be apologizing for it. So anyways, but yeah, overall though, that situation, it was fake. The girl was even suicidal. They just only had did that for content. And you know, the thing is this, like, it's crazy to think that somebody would go that deep to just do some content, but at the same time, it's not surprising, you know, because there's people out there where it's like, yeah, they'll do some crazy stuff like that just to get some content and stuff out the way. And it's something where I'm like, you know, I get it at the end of the day if you don't like an individual, but at the same time, it's like, fam, how did I get you guys so upset to the point where you felt the need to do stuff like that? You know, like what drove you to that point? Because if you guys like, so prior before they starting up all these rumors and stuff about me, the only narrative that they had going for themselves was that I did reaction videos and I didn't accept criticism. That was it. That was the only thing. So maybe they felt like that wasn't good enough, and then that's when they were like, okay, well let's up it a little bit, you know? Yeah, let's start saying that he ignored a suicidal girl. Oh, he made fun of this guy's dead mom. what else has I have I done and stuff. Yeah, it's like they're trying to, I feel like there's definitely some other things that they tried accusing me of, but yeah, it's one of those things where I'm all like, okay, well, the suicidal girl situation, yeah, like I said, that situation turned, or no, there was actually another thing where they had created, that's what it was. And I remember reacting to Just the Robots video. So there was a time where I guess it was somebody that claimed to be a fan of mine. But anyways, they had uploaded a video of, like, I guess defending me and stuff, but they said some crazy and questionable things in that video. So what one of Just the Robot fans did, because they were notorious for doing stuff like this, they created a fake account, just like I was talking about with that suicidal girl, created a fake account pretending to be me. Now, I'm so happy that YouTube, because I don't know, maybe even that individual that made that video, they probably was just some sort of plant. Like, they wasn't even a real fan, because I ain't hearing from that fan today. So I'm like, and there's fans that I met before that individual, and where it's like, they're still fans of me till this day. So that's why I'm like, yeah, I don't even believe that whoever that individual was a fan. But yeah, they was like trying to say that I had commented underneath their video saying good video or something like that, and I'm like, fam, if you guys know me, you know that I don't be leaving comments. Like, I just recently started, like, getting into leaving comments underneath videos and stuff. But other than that, I'm not really a back then, it was unheard of. The only time I had to say that you would be able to find comments of me is before like I got into, like, heavily got into content creating. So yeah, like KSI, there might be some songs out there where you might have like some like video game trailers, stuff like that. But as far as anything else, yeah, I don't really, if I did leave any comments underneath a person's video, I guess during that like middle portion, like from 2015 all the way up until, I'm trying to think, like what, last year, maybe there might be some comments that I left underneath the person's video. But yeah, that was one thing about it, is that I was doing any and everything that I could to not watch any videos about me. So yeah, there was other people, because no, there was the one guy where I know I shouldn't admit to anything like this, but there is a guy that he is actually a fan. He's been a fan for a while, and I want to just shout him out real quick. But anyways, Newnet TV, I believe that's his name. But anyways, there's videos that he uploaded of me where I have even watched them, you know, like it was more so the defense video, because I'm like, I did not want to be involved in this drama at all. Like, I didn't want to see no videos, no defense videos, or no videos talking against me and stuff. So yeah, that's all I was like. Anything else, yeah, I was watching those videos, because I was doing try not to laugh challenges, and people were reacting to them, and yeah, it was stuff like that I was watching. But anything else, I'm like, nah, bro, I don't want to watch that. I'm like, it's just gonna put me in a bad spirit, you know. So, but anyways, yeah, I was just sitting down thinking, I'm like, man, you know, all right, no, so I open up Facebook, because from time to time I'll do that just to check, see notifications, all that crap. But no, yeah, I did see that there's like, that was like a memory thing that tweet that I made, and I was like, man, you know, so I guess today was that day where I made that tweet, huh? Wow, all right, well, anyway, so yeah, man, but it's one of those things where I'm like, you know, I don't regret making that tweet. I had to say, if anything, I regret getting involved with Just the Robots, his antics and stuff. You know, yeah, that's one thing. I'm like, I regret getting involved with his, like, with the drama and all that stuff. I think that if I hadn't got involved with his drama, I think I definitely would be in a much more better place with content creating, and better place, like, yeah, with content creating, headspace, all that stuff. So yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, you know, with Just a Robot and his fan base, it's not like something where it's like they angered me. It's just, it was annoying. It was just, you know, it was stressful at times, where I'm like, man, y'all is still going at this. Like, move on, bro. Let it go. Like, go do something productive with your life. But anyways, with that being said, I will talk to y'all later. Thank you guys for watching and or listening. Stay tuned for the next episode. Like, subscribe, viewing this on YouTube. Follow, subscribe, viewing this on the podcast streaming service. And peace.